Alright, what's up? We're here with a Duel today, doing Worms versus Windups. Got a little bit of commentary here.
During the actual duel, there wasn't much said, and so we thought it'd be a little bit boring, so we decided to overlay this commentary.
With some of our own.
So I'm using my Worm deck, and then Hatris is using his Wind-Up deck. And then we also have Sayu Ninja and Ramen Noodles here completing Team Simply Ma'at, and they'll be giving their input too. So we'll talk a little bit about the decks and why we made some of the moves we did, and yeah.
Sounds good. So let's see what happened so far. Somehow Mirror Force got active.
I mistyed Mirror Force.
I mistyed Mirror Force.
And attacked into the Sengen.
And then I searched for a shark, I think.
So I did my standard X-Jagen play, gets me the nice little +1. I don't quite remember what my back row was at this point. Say it for the...
One's bottomless, I think.
I mean, the thing with Wind, the basic strategy with Worms is normally to disrupt, like, once they do their normal summon. Or in the case of Wind-Up, sometimes I like to wait until they bring out the X-Seeds and then use a Compulse or a Bottomless and get rid of them then.
Those are so annoying. I tried to go into Shockmaster here to prevent some of those traps, and I don't know, but I knew I had Jagen. So I got Bottomless, and I lanced my Shockmaster to protect it. Detach the Magician. I think I called Monster Effects.
He did that so I couldn't flip the Jagen and bounce.
That's like one of the most annoying plays that Worms can do. You get out an X-Seed monster, and next turn they just flip the Jagen and get rid of your X-Seed right away.
It looks like I have a Lance, Called the Haunted, and...
I think that's King in your hand. The last one is... Oh, no, it's another X.
So I don't think I have Starlight at this point. But I see he set some back row, so I'm not really afraid to throw some down too. I know that Wind-Ups is somewhat of a controlled deck too, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't draw the heavy. Unlucky.
Normally you have to either wait until you play or get a Starlight Road, or sometimes you can just, if you've played the person before and they know that you're probably only going to settle out with a Starlight, you can try and bluff, but a lot of times that's a little too risky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we duel each other a lot, so...
So we kind of know how...
Yeah. So I detached from Shockmaster again to call, I think, traps this time to prevent my Zen Matey from being bottomless. And then I pop the Factory. Add from Factory right here, I think, first.
Yep.
And then special summon in attack mode from the Zen Matey effect. So add Shark to my hand, and then I think special summon the Rat. Yep. Magician wouldn't be very good because there's, I could Shark that, but Rat lets me get another level 4 on the field from my graveyard. I think I have a Magician in the graveyard.
So then at this point I don't think I'm too worried because I have a Lance, so I assume he's going to attack with Shockmaster, so then I can just Lance. Because I assume I'm pretty sure he called traps to make sure this all goes off.
Yeah.
And then, or in fact, I think he goes into Utopia right now.
Yeah.
And then I Lance, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then I know he's not going to attack into my Fexy. Maybe you do attack into Jagen, but I'm not sure.
I can't remember. We'll have to see what happens.
I think because you attack first with Utopia, then Shockmaster, but we'll see. This was a long duel, a lot to remember.
This was a long duel, 20 minutes.
A lot of the times our duels are pretty long.
It's very long. I had to hold the camera there for 20 minutes with my arms up.
A little bit of complaining from Ramen Noodles here, not being a good team player.
Oh, man.
So,
hey, man, I did it without complaint.
Attacked you with Utopia towards the X, and yeah, it looks like you are gonna play the Lance right here. Yep, Lance the Utopia, so it gets destroyed. And then I attack again with Shockmaster.
500. See the strain of holding the camera.
So and right now I have a Cardos and an X in my hand.
And I didn't attack the face down because Jagen has an 1800 defense. It's pretty high, so I couldn't get over it with Zen Matey. I forgot to take the damage from the
Utopia.
Utopia, yeah. So he returns my Shockmaster back. Unfortunate. Because I did call traps, so...
And then I attack into Rat. I'm not quite sure why I didn't summon X to go over.
Zenmaidi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of just left it there.
You call it traps, so Hattress calls worm. So windups can't even play traps for this turn.
Yeah, so I couldn't play my own traps. I guess you said you wanted to set the Carteros.
I think... Oh, I think I wonder if I have a Nebula on the field, because that might be that might be the only reason why I would have.
Yeah. So I detach, and you saw him warning.
Oh, that's why I didn't want to, I guess, because...
So the effect doesn't go off. I pay the cost. And
I think with my hand that small, I wanted to make sure I could get another monster out with Carteros, so...
So I normal summon the Rat, and then I use its effect, which lets me add by factory. So I think I add a Shark here? Yeah. And then I'm going to special summon from my graveyard, and I think maybe I'll go into Zen Mains this time. We'll see. Taking my sweet time shuffling. Yep, go for a level 3 for my graveyard. Yep. Get the Shark, and I can use Shark's effect to make it level 3. So I still don't know what his back row is, but if it's bottomless, I can, with Zen Mains, I can still just attach a material and then blow up a card. So attack the Jaegen with the Zen Mains, do 500 damage.
Pull up Reborn. I don't think I use it. Or I think, do I dump King here? I forget what I do. So flip Carteros to add. Normally with Carteros, I mean, you're almost always going to go into an X, just because that can then get you a Jaegen if your field is clear. Sometimes if they have some troublesome monsters on the field, you'll get another Jaegen that you can just set, or even just to get a Carteros that you can continue to slowly plus, but I'd say about a good 80% of the time you just get another X. So I summoned that.
I can't quite remember what my back row is, but I mean, I would have, obviously, bottomless X if it was a bottomless.
So, and then I always dump Jaegen with X, unless... I think because I have a Monster Reborn, I'm okay with dumping King.
That's the first time I've ever seen him dump King. I've played him hundreds of times.
I also run Called the Haunted, so I use that combo too sometimes.
Oh, wait, there's a twist.
Actually, here we know.
There's a twist.
Here he sees that I dumped King, and he is quite confused, and he's thinking, well, here's a sexy, shiny card. I wonder if I want to...
Yeah, I definitely just drew the Monster Reborn, and I took the King from him.
But then I chain Called the Haunted to...
That was a really good play.
To make Monster Reborn lose its target.
What a twist.
And then the Xyz start coming.
Yeah, field's open. Nothing,
So
no traps to be afraid of.
Right, there was nothing in his hand at this point. I mean, nothing on the field as well, so I didn't have anything to be scared of, so I could just go all out now.
And then I banished... I forgot to banish the Jaegen, because normally to prevent it... Because otherwise you can create like some loops or things if you are able to revive the Jaegen every time. So the first time it's special summoned by its effect, then it gets banished when it leaves the field, unless it gets flipped up and down by Nebula. So it didn't end up affecting anything, but I just forgot to banish it, so that's why I threw it out there. And more Xyz are coming.
So I added Rat to my hand by a Wind Up Factory effect, and that really helped me, I think, later on, when the field gets a little bit more clear. I still have that Wind Up Rat to help me continue. Get the Maestro, detach one to target King, flip him face down so that
So then I detach both, because king only has, I think, 1100 defense, so it would have gotten destroyed, so. The general strategy I use versus windups, and to the same extent like a 6 Sam deck, is if I can't disrupt them, I just let all their plays go through, and then I try to just slowly outlast them until we're in a situation where we're both top decking and I feel more comfortable with the cards I have, I guess.
Especially against 6 Sam.
Yeah.
There's no one card in 6 Sam that'll bring them back. You need to combo.
Because with windups, they can always get that Pot of Avarice or get that that rat. So.
Yeah, one rat can take you very far in a wind-up deck.
So I throw down X to dump Jagen. I think I have a Deep Prison in my hand, so I'm not too worried about another attack from Zen mains.
The long duels always make me nervous because windups are really spammy at the beginning, and then if you can't really get your spam off, you're sitting dead. And worms once you if you can last with worms, I mean, there's so much control that you just can go forever.
So this I attack, I'm pretty sure I attack the Maystroke. And I think he affects to save Maystroke from being destroyed.
Yes. You take this.
The one card I've been debating buying is a Utopia Ray just for a situation like this, because if you guys watch the deck profile, you know I don't really use my extra deck that much, so space is pretty open, so if I ever get around to buying it, I'd probably throw that in just for a situation like this.
Oh, what a catch! Wow. Skill.
I think that's a game loss for card abuse.
Card abuse. So I think it's still your turn over here.
Yeah, I think I'm debating. I don't know. I attack X into Zen mains because I think what I want to do is I'm going to then attack with. My plan was to attack with King and then to use King's effect to blow up X to get rid of Zen mains, but then he deprisoned the King, so that kind of screwed me over a little bit.
I saved the deprison.
Because I wasn't too worried about. Actually, I guess if it was a Mirror Force, I was going to just reborn it and then.
Right.
But it was still gotten destroyed. So right now I'm not too happy with my situation just because.
Utopia will die if I just target it. It will die. So.
Yeah, and yeah. And so he destroys Reborn. The reason I set Reborn was just so he wouldn't get rid of Deep Prison, because if he keeps Zen mains out like that, he can basically clear the field.
Right.
So at this point in the game, I'm not too happy. I don't have much in terms of anything on the field, so.
So that was the rat that I added previous turn by factory effect. So I use it. I summon that, use its effect, grab another rabbit from my deck. Deck's thinning out pretty fast now. I mean, most of my I think all of my sharks are in the graveyard at this point, and I don't have any magicians left, so that's why I added rabbit, because that's the only thing left. And that's why I only run 2 factories in this deck, because it thins it out so much at end game. It's just pretty useless.
I think I'm just waiting for. I just want to draw a Nebula or something like that, or just my plan for this. If I can keep X on the field, I can re-get a Jagen in my graveyard, and then I'll be okay. But at this point, I mean, I know that the only way for him to get rid of X would be to ram it with Maystroke, unless he goes into something bigger than it. But I have a Deep Prison, so I can get rid of either Zen mains or whatever he goes into.
So I use the Magician's effect to special summon another rabbit and Xseed into, I think, Leviathan here with
I think so.
These 2 level 3s. Oh no, I actually go for Leviair, detach, and I special summon the rabbit again.
So this isn't a very good situation for me, and he puts Zen mains back, which actually relieves me a little bit, because now I know that he has nothing that can get over my X.
So I think first I target the Utopia for attack.
And then Utopia goes away.
And then.
I think you attack with Maystroke because Maystroke. Oh, I guess not. So I get a Cardaro. So first I'm gonna bring back Jagen.
I can't remember why I passed. I think I might have been afraid of that being a mirror force.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
And you didn't really have anything that could have just like killed my Levier or my Maestro. So I was thinking if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it anyways.
So I think at this point I'm debating whether or not to go into a rank 4 with my Carteros, or whether to just set it, because if I go into my rank 4, so I mirror force and then it gets, so that's because if I would go into the rank 4 and then like if that would have been a Utopia,
right.
I would have been in a pretty bad situation because I would have just had that Jagen. But now at least I can set the Carteros and hopefully get a card back.
So I use Rabbit's effect to banish the Magician, so I can so I can normal summon my other Rabbit from my hand. I think I want to Exceed for 3 here. Yeah, I go for the Giga Brilliant.
And at this point, I'm not happy with this because now the good thing about Jagen is 1800 defense, so nothing could get over it. But now that he got out Giga Brilliant, he can now both that Maestroke and Levier each have 2100. So now he can just run over anything I can set there.
I think that's the Carteros, yep.
So I think I had my last X. No, I'm out of... I have one Jagen and I think one Carteros left that I could add. So I'm... Besides Thunder King, I'm out of monsters pretty much, and then... I use the Deep Prison on the Giga Brilliant just because I don't want him to get that additional boost next turn, and then... He attacks with the last one, and...
Returns the Zen mains.
Yeah.
So I still have a Levier and a Maestroke with 2100 attack each. So I'm feeling okay in this situation. I don't feel too bad.
I pull another Carteros, so at this point Carteros is kind of dead to me because all it can get me. In fact, I don't think it'll. I don't have any more targets for Carteros, so there's not much I can do right now.
So I forgot that Magician actually comes back. Actually,
there's some confusion.
Yeah, I forgot that Magician actually comes back due to Rabbit effect. So I tried to use Levier's effect to bring Magician back, but then I realized I don't need to.
Ramen noodles.
But Ramen Noodles over here told me that I didn't need to, so.
Good old ramen.
Gotta
keep the play.
Good old
Gotta
Ramen
keep the plays
Noodles.
legit.
So he attacks into the Jagen, and I turn Maestroke just because Maestroke hasn't attacked. I mean, I was debating whether or not to get the Levier, but he has nothing banished, though. And then now I get my Meteorite, but it does me no good because he can just destroy Carteros with Levier, so... I think I double-checked, but I don't think I have any more targets
left.
So at this point, it's...
Two Thunder Kings and an Honest left in your deck.
So my three unresolved Nebulas are useless, and it's all about that top decking.
Yeah. We're both...
So I get a Mirror Force, and that is good, I guess.
Unless he has a huge revolution.
I don't run that card anymore.
You run one Starlight?
I just run one Starlight.
I see.
So I think I let the attack go through because I'm okay with that one attack going through. I'd rather wait and see if he gets another monster. And so he bottomlesses the one monster I draw, and so I got a Nebula that I can't use and a Mirror Force, and at that point I don't want my life points to drop anymore, and then he Judgments. So I think I'm at what?
800,
like 800,
I think, something like that.
800 to 3400, so things are not looking good.
I
draw the MST, and
It's GG.
game one.